Hi, fifth graders. This is Mr. O. Hope you and your families are safe and doing okay. We are going to try getting into some online learning with CS in just a second here. But here's what I do need you to do. I want to first welcome you to our online class. And then, secondly, I want you to get out your planner, have that ready to go. And if you haven't already, go ahead and pause the video and start a new note in your GoodNotes or Notability, wherever you keep your notes for CS. And let's start a new note called Lesson 15 Functions. So you may need to pause the video to do that. And then when you're ready, come back and let's get started. In your planner, what I need you to do is on Monday, March 16th, which is today, I need you to go ahead and write down code.org lesson 17 and 18. The extra credit for these two lessons will be all of the flag levels. And then what I need you to do is flip to Thursday, April 16th. So that's about a month. I need you to finish code.org lesson 17 and 18 and all previous lessons. So hopefully we'll be back in school by that point, and I need you to make sure that you're done with everything by that point. All right, now I'm going to need you to write down a definition, so you're going to need to pause this video in just a second because we're going to talk about the last of the core four, which are functions. So what are functions? A function is a set of actions that have a name. So in computer science, we group these separate little steps together and give it one name called a function, which makes it, number one, easier, and number two, it allows our code to be a little bit more powerful in terms of what it can accomplish. So you may need to pause the video and write that definition down. But before I go any further, let me give you an example. So like, for example, in real life, a function could be like something like called brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth has a bunch of actions within it, right? Like go to the bathroom, get out your toothbrush, get out the toothpaste, put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, put it up to your teeth. See, there's a bunch of actions, but within all those actions, we call it just this one idea of brush your teeth. Same idea with like making a sandwich. There are a bunch of actions that go along with making a sandwich, like go to the kitchen, get out a knife, get out a spoon, get out other utensils, get out each one of the ingredients you need. So you can see there's a bunch of actions, but it's all within the name make a sandwich. So it's a similar idea in computer science, and we're going to get into those in just a second here. So I'm going to show you a few levels on lesson 17 and 18 and get you started on those. So you're going to need to pause the video and then go to code.org and try it out as you follow along with me. But let's go ahead and get started. So code.org lesson 17, go ahead and watch the video on level 1. And then level 2 says help the harvester get to the pumpkin and pick it. You're going to notice that now the blocks have, I can see the blocks once I click on these separate parts here, and then when I click out here I can't see it anymore. So what do I need to do? I need to have the harvester move forward, and it looks like there's like some loops that I can use. So repeat until there are pumpkins. I'm going to move forward, so I'm going to use this kind of while loop until there are pumpkins, move forward, and then finally I'm going to pick the pumpkin, and when I run that, you can see that that's what I would need in that particular level. Now, that being said, level 3 is actually when you get into a function. So here's an example of what I was talking about. A set of actions. So if there's corn, pick the corn. So that's my set of actions. If there's corn here, it's going to pick the corn. But now I've grouped it under this one thing called check square for corn. And I can find that block over here under check square for corn. So now I've got two steps within this function, and you're going to see that our functions become more powerful later. So now when it's run, I'm going to repeat until there are pumpkins. I'm going to move forward, but every single time it says help the harvester pick all the corn on the way there. So every single time I'm going to use that function called check square for corn. So move forward and check square for corn and repeat all the way until the end where then I can pick a pumpkin. So when I run that, there. So again, I've used that function check square for corn and I put it in over here. Let's try level 4. That's the last one that I'm gonna try with you, and then I'm gonna try to let you run it on your own. So you can see when you have a function, it already takes up some certain amount of blocks. So it looks like I can do a similar thing to what I had before, like I'm going to repeat until there are pumpkins. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to use the function called check square for corn. And I'm going to do that all the way until the end. And then at the end, it's going to pick the pumpkin. But then once it gets here, what do you think it's going to need to do? Well, hopefully you've said out loud, or at least in your head, that it needs to turn left. And then what? Yep, move forward twice. So I'm going to move forward twice. And then I'll turn left. And knowing that we could use a repeat block here, I'll look for another. It doesn't look like there's like a regular, just a repeat block. So I'm going to have to repeat this code. Now let me show you a cool trick here. If I click on this block and if I do a Command C and then a Command V, I've copied this block. You may need to be a little bit um, clever with your iPad in terms of how you do that, but if you do it with a Command C and Command V, you can repeat blocks here. And then what's the last thing? Well, let's see and see how far this gets me. Oop, I was missing something. What was it? Yeah, I needed to add a pick pumpkin at the end. So I'll go ahead and add that in. And now I should have taken care of picking the pumpkin by the end. So you can see how powerful functions are, and you're going to see in future levels that the functions become larger because they're going to group more actions together, and you're going to have multiple functions. So I want you to go ahead and work on those. Here's one thing I wanted to point out to you is that when you are, if you're stuck on anything during today's lesson, you can see under the topic, if you're stuck on one, you can join the Google Meet during the time that our block meets, and then I can meet with you live and help you on any of the levels. If you haven't already, don't forget to share a note here so that I can mark you for your attendance. Good luck with everything, stay safe, and stay in touch.